Richard.
Hey Steve, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad, not so bad. Enjoying the lovely weather today. It's been beautiful down here.
I was out playing tennis earlier actually. Nice little game of tennis. It was good to get a run about. It's quite accurate actually. The one good thing about the weather forecast up here is when you actually look at these websites, some of the weather forecast
Uh-huh.
websites, they're pretty accurate. You can see wee windows of time where it's perfect for playing tennis.
I've been finding the opposite down here recently. Just
Have you?
it's all over the place, the weather forecast. Yeah, I mean today was pretty good actually, to be fair. But yeah, over the summer it was all over the place. You prepare to go out for a sunny day and end up with rain, so you just end up taking everything anyway. I guess that's the
Yeah,
great summer anyway. But yeah.
yeah. And while viewers are joining us, so you see in the top corner there's a little viewer counter. I don't know how accurate that is. I like to think it's 10 times what I see in that figure most of the time. But um, so we're going to have a good chat tonight about what both of our groups do. They do very different things, but we're
Mhm.
in many ways we're pulling in the same direction, Richard. I want the I want the members of my group to see what you're doing and
Mhm.
learn what you're doing and the benefits of it. And I want the members of your group to hopefully see what we're doing at Awaken Pages and how that may be able to help them fight back economically
Yeah.
against this agenda that wages against us. And maybe if they've got a business, get their business supported by giving it access to the awakened economy, which is going to
Yeah.
be very, very, very powerful. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about both our groups. So while people are joining, Richard, so give me a bit of background on yourself. So where you're from and what got you into this game and
Yeah, so I was born and raised sort of around South London. About 15 years ago, I moved down to Somerset. I've got three kids. I've got an 18-year-old daughter from my first marriage, and she's been through the school system, and she's just sort of last year of college. I've also got a 6-year-old boy who will be home educate, and a 3-year-old daughter as well. Yeah, we live in Somerset, gorgeous part of the world, very rural. Doesn't feel massively awake down here, to be fair. It's even now still lots of people in the supermarket with masks on, and you
yeah, you
know,
should you
it's,
should you should pay a visit to Scotland. You'd be amazed. It's terrible up here.
really,
Terrible. Oh God, sleeping. Mind it.
it's yeah, and so I have my own business. I had an event management business that I ran for 15 years. Unfortunately, as you can imagine, when COVID hit, that came to a pretty abrupt full stop. So I took advantage of the government's furlough scheme to sort of, take a look around and see what was going on. And I'd been kind of thinking about giving up for a few years, but you know what it's like. We're on the hamster wheel. You can't get off, can you? And or it's a lot of effort too, anyway. So I was, forced to do that. And I got into cryptocurrency about 4 years previously, and sort of dabbled a little bit, did a couple of courses at that time, and then basically decided to sort of try and make more of a business of it. Unfortunately, I got involved pretty early on in something that turned out to be a scam, lost a bunch of money. I say we started home educating our son about this time as well. And it just kind of occurred to me that, when I started home educating, that a lot of parents lose an income, a lot of families lose an income when they decide to home educate. B, that the cryptocurrency space, it's still a bit wild west. It's not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
regulation out there, and so people needed information that they could rely on and they could trust, to at least try and make decisions.
Yeah.
So it's and I set up a Facebook group, the Homeschool DeFi Club, in February time, at the end of February, and I sort of messed around with it for a bit, didn't quite have the confidence to make it go live. And then at the end of February, I sort of pressed the button and I stuck a few posts in a couple of home education groups, and literally 500 people joined in the weekend. And so I figured, well, okay, it seems like it's a good match because, and this is a huge generalization, but generally people that home educate, they have a certain suspicion of systems, namely the school system. So it's not too great a leap to be suspicious of the financial systems, and quite rightly so.
Yeah.
And so there was a kind of almost a natural synergy between cryptocurrency and the home educating parents, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, so one of the users just asked, I'll pop up the odd question.
Mm-hmm.
So was it UZ Tech I lost to them with crypto? So that you were saying that you get involved in a
Yeah.
scam?
Yeah, it was a company called Mirror Trading International, MTI, and they went belly up just before Christmas last year, which was a nice little Christmas present. So
Mhm.
yeah, unfortunate, and there's a lot of these out there. I mean, there's a few have gone down this year, that people have been involved in, and it's one of those spaces, where you can never sort of mitigate the risk 100%, but you can make it a lot safer, and you can give yourself a much better chance moving forwards, of making actually trying to make money in the space.
Yeah. I'm just going to open up your page actually, and we'll have a quick look at that. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to ask the viewers a little question soon,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see if we can get their involvement in a little challenge, a little guessing
Yeah,
game with the
sure.
viewers. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at this. Now, you and I are still there, Richard. You can still see us both.
Yeah,
And I'm just going to maximize this so you won't see us, but you'll still be able to hear us both. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
So the Homeschool DeFi Club. So for anybody from Waking Pages, so many people would like to home educate, but are afraid, amongst other things, of the financial impact. So really, as you said, that's what you've tried to do: bring the ability to home educate, but dabble or part time, full time in crypto, giving yourself the best of both worlds, an income sustainable. You're not going to bet the farmhouse every day. You're not
Mm-hmm.
taking wild, crazy bets, and that's where the strategy comes in. You know,
Yeah. Now, I
you're
mean, it's
not trying to
basically
maybe make fortunes. You're not promising anybody millionaire status. You're just
no.
saying a grand or two or three a month or something like that, and nice and easy wins the race type thing.
Yeah, I mean, we make it very clear that it's not, it's not a get rich. We're not looking at get rich quick schemes. It's all about education
Hmm.
in this space, because without education, you can't make good decisions, quite honestly. And it's such a huge and complex space now, and it's getting bigger all the time. And decentralized finance is absolutely the future. I mean, we know what the centralized banking systems are doing to us. We know that inflation is a stealth tax. We know that if we've got money in a bank account, in a savings account, you might as well call it a losings account. It's because it's deflating faster than you can say
Yeah.
the word deflating. I mean, they
Yeah.
reckon you probably need to be earning 15% interest a year just to keep pace with inflation on your savings. So if you've got them sat in a savings account, you're just losing money hand over fist.
That's it. And this bit here, so the homeschool DeFi club. I didn't actually know what that DeFi part meant before, and it kind of took me a wee while. So just
Yeah,
to explain that, so it's about homeschooling, but
yeah,
you don't need to be wanting to homeschool to join, because you can also learn about the whole crypto thing there.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
so you could want to move to part time. You could be in a no job, no job situation. You know,
Hmm.
you don't need to be. Your kids could be going to normal school or abnormal school, whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah.
ultimately, you can still come to the Homeschool DeFi Club and learn about a sensible, nice and steady crypto trading strategy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not trading, so I'll just make that clear first, and we'll,
Okay.
we'll talk about that a bit more a bit later. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in the group that are wanting, and there's been a huge increase in the number of people wanting to home educate this last year for very obvious reasons. So there's a lot of people in the group that want to take that step, but they're not quite in the right place. And there's lots of reasons why people don't do it. Finance is one of them. Maybe just the fear of doing it, of sort of the thought of being around your kids 24/7 sometimes can be a little bit daunting. Then sometimes you've got one partner that does and one partner that doesn't, or you've just got, can I do this? Who am I to teach my kids, kind of thing. So there's all sorts of reasons why people don't do it and don't take the step. But we thought, at least if we can look at helping on the financial side of things, that is one of the big barriers to people actually not home educating. And it's another interesting thing, actually. I mean, we call it home educating here. There's a very clear delineation between what's home educating and what is homeschooling, because schooling homeschooling is effectively what people were doing in the lockdown when they were doing like a curriculum that was sent to them by teachers. But in the rest of the world, they call it homeschooling. Just in case you've got international viewers, it's called homeschooling elsewhere, regardless of the type of education being given.
Yeah, and then you've got a lot of people here call it alternative education as well, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, you got groups, alternative education groups as well, and there's things like world schooling and Rome schooling, and there's all deschooling, unschooling. There's all kinds of different terminology. But
so,
yeah.
So Richard, cover that part again. Then I said again, and correct me if I want to make sure that the viewers understand exactly what we're talking about here. So I mentioned crypto trading, and you said no, it's not quite that. And let's just make sure that we sort of double down on exactly what we're talking about there. How does it work in a sort of
a
quick summary then?
Okay, well, first off, I mean, maybe I should explain what decentralized finance is to start with. So, like we were saying before, at the moment, we have a centralized banking system. If you want to send money to a third party, you have to send it to a bank or maybe through several banks before it eventually gets to where it's going. So you have to use the banking system. Decentralized finance is completely peer-to-peer. If I want to send you money, Steve, I can literally send Bitcoin directly from my wallet to your wallet. There's no middleman. There's nobody taking a sum out. Yes, there are transaction fees, but they're generally nothing compared to what a bank would charge you for the same transaction. And of course, the banks are pretty terrified of this because the governments don't particularly like it either, because it's it's largely unregulated at the moment. And they don't have complete oversight of this. Yes, there's transparency in the blockchain. You can follow transactions. But it's very hard to stop people making those transactions and sending money here and there. So we look at platforms. Well, first off, we try and educate people. So we have a whole bunch of workshops available that are free. I'm in another group where we have access to nearly 20 different coaches, crypto coaches, who all give workshops about different parts of these crypto. At different times all over the world. They're from the States down to New Zealand, so there's all different time zones covered as well. And there's sort of beginner, intermediate, and advanced level workshops too. But we look at using different platforms to make a passive income. So what we're not looking at is sort of multi-level marketing type stuff where you have to build a team, and that takes time, it takes effort, and
So are there companies out there that are trying to do that with crypto and build people in and network market and all that stuff?
Yeah, and I mean, some of the opportunities we look at, yes, they have that. That is a part of it if you want to go that route. But we specifically look for opportunities that work without having to do that. So it's optional. It's there. You can do it if you want to do it. But the overriding thing is that you can just find a platform to put your money into, and then it will start to generate passive income.
Okay, now this is where I'm going to ask the viewers a little question. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so you can see the screen there, and I'm going to ask you guys a question about Bitcoin. Okay, so if you bought $1,000, and this is directed to the viewers, and you can put your answers in the chat box, please. Okay. If you bought $1,000 10 years ago, 6th of the 10th, 2011, that's 10 years ago if I'm correct, okay, what would you have right now? So that's the buy-in price of $1,000. You bought it then, what would it be worth today? Okay, so if you can put in your answers, if anybody's actually listening to us, which they are, but if you want to put in how much you think it might be worth. So if they've got any clues, somebody said a billionaire. Okay. Okay. So somebody said a billionaire. Now bear in mind, somebody said again, so this is the difference. Somebody said 16,000. Someone said 1,400. Okay. Someone thinks it would go down to 50 US dollars. Okay. Okay. Let me calculate this for you then. Okay. So you can see there that there's quite a wide difference between what people think. There's another person saying 10 grand. So very, very different calculations there. Now this is real, Richard. You've seen these calculators before. You know the impact of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's calculate. $7,230,000.
No, that's 7 billion. Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, so
7 million.
million. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
7 million. So
yeah.
7,230,756. Okay. Now you'd have to have put your money away, never crapped away from it, never walked away from it, never bottled it. You
And
know,
not what's the key to your wallet either.
and not and this is the thing. Well, that's one of the things I want to talk about. Not losing the key, protecting it like a piece of gold. You know. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story here about this. So bear that little calculation in mind, guys. That's a real number here. Okay, that's what you would have had. Now, all of us had access to $1,000 10 years ago. Every one of us, and you could stick it on a credit card. Okay. Now, let me just switch away from this screen. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, Richard. Now, I sold my business during the credit crunch 2008. We're very, very lucky to sell it. We still got a good price, all things considered, but we should have got much, much more. Never looked back. Never had any regrets. The money that I didn't get selling it for top dollar, I got a very, very valuable lesson instead, which was worth more to me than the money. So I got time because I sold my business. I took some money and I went to Australia to see my son, and I got a big fancy flat that I rented, and I had spent a lot of money. I didn't need to work, and I went down the rabbit hole. Okay, because I was extremely disappointed in myself for not understanding this world. You know, I was running a big business at 185 staff, winning a lot of awards. We were very, very good at our job. We were largest mortgage brokerage in Scotland, fourth largest in the UK. We had to sell it really fast in a fire sale. Now, if 300-year-old banks were going bust in that credit crunch, my 25-year-old mortgage business was going to go bust if I wasn't careful. So I had to get someone to come in and buy my business, which they did. And they paid a hefty price for it, but nowhere near what I should have got. I got 5% of what I should have got.
Wow.
Okay. But it's still, and I've never had any regrets, Richard. I've never thought, oh, I lost a lot of money. I got enough money to last me a couple of years. I didn't have to work. Now, I could have invested a lot of money in Bitcoin then. Okay. Because, and this is the story I want to tell you. I started, when I went down the rabbit hole, I started listening to a guy. So I looked at, where does money come from? Where does mortgages and debt come from? You know, who runs the world? New World Order? What's in your food? I went down the rabbit hole. I don't think I've ever come out. Actually, I'm still down it.
It's very easy to get lost down there.
Yeah, I stayed down there. I lived it. My friends, the way we get treated now, I was a tinfoil hat wearer then. My friends were actually really worried about me. My friends in Australia, extremely worried about me. I just studied the stuff. I really studied it. Now, I stumbled across a guy, and some people might know this guy, Cliff High. Okay, I don't know if you ever heard of Cliff High.
No, I haven't. No.
Cliff High ran a website called Half Past Human. Okay. Now, he was a web guy, and he used to send these bots out to the web. So he was scraping the internet before Google was scraping the internet, right? So he was doing trend analysis on word patterns. Okay. So he could predict the future, because the future is a wee bit about the present, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, a lot of what happens in the future is being presented to you on the TV tonight, telegraphed to you, and it's about the direction of travel. We talk about the direction of travel a lot. So a lot of what's in the present becomes the future. Okay. If you can read the present, if you can read the signs in the present. Okay. Now, so Cliff High, very, very good. I started buying into his little, he called them auto reports. Okay. So he would send you reports of what people were talking about on the internet. Now, he could tell by the way people were talking. People would say he read more into the language, like the casual language, more than the search language. So people might say, like he would read forums and he would read things like people would say, "Oh, I felt as if I was going to explode," right?
Mm-hmm.
So the person's describing their emotion, but they're using an emotional word like I felt as if I was going to explode. Okay, and then but he noticed that lots of people in different chat rooms, not connected,
Mm-hmm.
were all saying similar words at the same time.
All
And
right.
then what would happen is a volcano would explode within a couple of days of that. So what it was
Wow.
is the people were sensing it, and this he could do it. But that's maybe just one example. But so he was reading these sort of descriptive words and emotive words that people were using,
Mm-hmm.
and he was turning it into predictions. Okay, and he would make his predictions. He would lay them out, and then he would say, "Look, there's that one came true, and this happened, and that happened." And he was actually quite accurate. You know, there was a lot of people really looking at his work. He was a trend forecaster.
Yeah.
Okay, using this tool that he'd created. Now, I was reading about him and watching his stuff in 2009 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, exactly the date that's on that little uh, calculator, 2009, 10, and 11. Actually, I was reading his stuff, reading his reports. Now, he started talking about Bitcoin, I think, in 2010 or 11.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and what he was saying is words like millionaire, billionaire, Bitcoin.
Right.
You know, you know, invest. All of these words were all tagged, and then the word Bitcoin was coming up. And he kept saying it. He says, "I don't know what it is. This thing, Bitcoin." He says, "This is going to be good."
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, now, bear in mind, I was listening to the guy, but I was listening more to his conspiracy theories than his investment theories.
Yeah.
But I had money to invest in. Bear in mind, I just sold my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have took a punt on 10 grand, stuck it away. I mean, 10 grand. We're talking about 70 million
Yeah.
right now. Today, had I listened to that guy then,
Yeah.
right, and just said, but as it happens, I would have cashed that 10 grand in at 20 or 30, and I'd have thought I don't want to gamble it. And that's the
Yeah.
you're in a perfect world, but in reality, $1,000 then was throwaway money, and it's take the
Yeah.
punt and run with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now, again, you and it's not. This isn't about investing tonight or doing anything like that. This
No.
is
No.
about saying you're over there in your group. You can hook people up with these excellent workshops with experts from around the
Mm-hmm.
world. Most of them are free, and they can tune into this stuff and find
Mm-hmm.
out more on a no obligation basis and see if it
Yeah.
whets their appetite. That's
There's
really what we're
there's
saying
there's a
there.
whole bunch of guides in the group as well, so people can just go through them, just read the content, get the terminology, just get the basics into their heads. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, that was, and I've never looked back at that with the Cliff High stuff and thought, I'm gutted that I think the story's worth telling, but don't get me wrong, I wish I had done something, but I don't regret it, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, I was going to say, is it, nobody that's bought Bitcoin and held it for 4 years has ever lost money. And it's interesting, I mean, Bitcoin, it halves in value every 4 years, so 2013, 2017. And in fact, this year, it hit a high of just over 60,000, went back to 30,000 like clockwork back in May.
mhm.
And it's now back up to 50, 52,000. And people are sort of getting ready for the next bull run where it's just being held back a little bit at the moment, but it's gone up something like 6-7 grand in the last 2 days. So it's a very
That's great.
volatile market. Yeah.
I heard something the other day. There was a podcast, and it was a guy. He was very, very smart, actually. The guy. Who was he on with? I can't remember. It was a really good one. I'll try and find it and send it to you.
Yeah.
And how many bitcoins are there in the world? So something is it 21 million or something?
1
20.
million. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 21. So that's part of the beauty of it, that there's 21 million
Yeah.
Bitcoin, and that never changes. And what this guy was saying is, he said there's 51 million millionaires in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, he said, so if all the millionaires wanted a Bitcoin, one Bitcoin each, he says they
Uh-huh.
couldn't have it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's quite an interesting way to look at it. Because you're saying, and that might be a driver for it.
Well, I mean, it is the driver, one of the drivers for the price, because you've got scarcity. It's still being mined. I think the final Bitcoin will be mined in the next sort of 15, 20 years. I can't remember the exact dates, but it's still being mined. But it's like a decreasing returns now. And the other thing is that one of the things that people say about Bitcoin is, well, it's not actually backed by anything. But what's your fiat currency backed by? It's just nothing. There's nothing tangible. It came off the gold standard 50 years ago. Bitcoin is decentralized finance, and there's a whole host of other cryptocurrencies out there that serve different functions. Bitcoin's the one that everybody's heard of. It's the granddaddy of them all. But there's a lot of other coins out there with really good utility that are also going to go increasing in price. But yeah, I mean, they're talking. I mean, nobody knows for certain what it's going to do. But they're talking about potentially 100 grand by the end of the year for Bitcoin, maybe 300,000 by the end of next year. But nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's all supposition. But if it follows form, then yes, it will carry on going. And that scarcity. It's not like the central banks which are printing money for fun and devaluing fiat currency. That as you say, and there's a huge amount of institutional investment in Bitcoin as well at the moment. Massive companies like BlackRock and JP Morgan, and they're starting to trade cryptocurrencies for their clients now. Whereas Warren Buffett 4 years ago was calling Bitcoin a scam. Now he's holding billions of it. So it's here to stay.
Yeah, and as you say, it's kind of the granddaddy. But in your workshops, you talk about these other players that are there. Someone's asked a question there, just probably aimed at you. What are the thoughts of the future? I'm sure it's aimed at you there, because I don't know how I could answer that one. But I mean, how's it looking for the whole crypto space just now? What's the drivers?
Yeah, it's booming. It's absolutely booming. I mean, the decentralized finance. So you've got a whole bunch of. So you buy cryptocurrency through an exchange. It's like your foreign exchange when you go on holiday, but you trade fiat for crypto and then cryptos for other cryptos. There's a whole bunch of decentralized exchanges out there now. So they're not. There's no human involvement at all. You just go and you swap it's all done with algorithms. Okay, you swap your cryptos. It's huge. I mean, the potential is massive, and I'll talk about one particular coin called Cardano. So the people that have come up with Cardano, their plan is to bank the unbanked in the world. So there's currently 1.7 billion people globally without a bank account. Okay, banks don't see them as worthwhile having them, basically. But these are the people who are generally among the poorer. They have to send, if they want to send cash, their money, they have to do it via a credit union of some sort. They lose fortunes on the way. But anybody with a mobile phone, and let's face it, nearly everybody now has a mobile phone, you can send crypto to, a family member or a colleague. So, it has huge, so you've got projects like this, which have huge utility. You've got Ethereum, which is based on smart contracts. And these are used to, if you think, for example, like property, for example, if you were going to say, okay, once you've got the solicitor's agreement signed, you've got the deposit received, you've got this, all these variables, then it will automatically release the cryptocurrency to pay the owner of the house. This, all these things, they're cutting out the middleman effectively. I mean, mortgage brokers could well be history in the not too distant future, quite honestly, maybe 10, 15 years.
Well, it's back to this, we've got Awakened Pages, and we're kind of going to try and talk about half of what you do and half of what I do. And this probably, as we get to the half-hour mark, is probably a nice little segue over to that. So let me just say, before you and I talk about lots of other things as well, that to the members of Awakened Pages and the Scottish People's Forum that this is going out to, and anybody else who watches this on YouTube, have a look at Richard's Facebook page. It's the Homeschool DeFi Club. It's a good page. It's a good energy group. There's some good people there. Get involved, join the group, and take part in these workshops. Now, I know at least 2 or 3 members of our group who I've spoken to, so there'll be far more than that, who've taken part in your workshops and they've found them very, very useful. And they're smart people, you know. So it's certainly something that's of interest to people.
Yeah. Can I just respond? There's one question come up about the proposed national cryptocurrency, so the central bank digital currencies.
Yep.
Yes, be highly skeptical, honestly, because this will give governments complete control over your money. So, say you owe taxes, they'll be able to remove it directly from your funds. Say you get a fine, you won't have the chance to question it. It will come directly from your funds. If you're on, for example, furlough at the moment, like a lot of people are, well, not anymore, but they were, they'll be based on smart contracts. So the government will be able to dictate what you spend your money on. So, for example, if they don't want you purchasing cryptocurrency, they can block it completely. It is another form of Big Brother, okay? Just stay away from it. CBDC, central bank digital currencies, and they're coming sooner than people think. Rishi Sunak's been doing a lot about this recently, talking a lot about this recently. Stay away from them.
That's right, and you can hear them telegraphing with everything that they do. Just another question. I think this might be from Jackie, actually, at Inspirations PLG. So why is it not really understood by so many? I think, and it is that kind of like the black arts, isn't it? Crypto, stay away. I'm going to bet the farmhouse, and I'm going to lose my money, and what? It's a Ponzi scheme, and it's going to collapse. And why could it be worth anything? It's just made out of digital ones and zeros.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's basically it's not understood by many for a lot of reasons. Number one, the media's done a massive hatchet job on it, and the banks. I mean, the banks now are basically saying, "Oh, we won't let you purchase from a crypto exchange because it's all for money laundering." Because the banks have never laundered money ever. It's all money laundering. It's used by drug smugglers. It's et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of fear mongering being put out there. I mean, what I would say is look at what the wealthy do, not at what they say. And the wealthy are now investing in cryptocurrencies in a huge, huge way. A lot of people don't understand. You're right, it's the ones and zeros. It's not backed by anything. But it's all about, in a lot of cases, the utility of the coin. And cryptocurrency is just one function of the blockchain. There are a whole mass of other applications behind it. And usually all you see of that as a trader or in this space is the cryptocurrency that sits in front of that application. So, for example, you might set up a platform where you want people to buy your goods, and you can set up your own cryptocurrency and get them to use that cryptocurrency to buy your goods. I mean, it's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but it's kind of like the fuel or the lubrication for that particular application. And decentralized finance, it takes everything we know about finance and basically turns it on its head. There are platforms where you can stake your cryptocurrency, so you give it over as collateral. You can borrow against it, so you're not taxed on it. You pay 6.9% interest, but while your cryptocurrency is on the platform, you're being paid 12% interest on that. So you're actually your loan costs you nothing. You're making money whilst your funds are sat there, and it's a real massive thing for people to get their heads around. It took me a while when I first heard it, I must admit. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that you do, Richard, and I know that your workshops go some way towards that. If you're worried about it or you don't understand it, well, and I don't fully understand it, but I get the fact it's important. I get the fact I need to look at it, and I get the fact that I should be involved in it in some shape or form. And the more you know, the more you find applications for things. So, you help to demystify it for people.
Yeah,
in your team there of guides and experts.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. So don't think you have to do anything about it to start the process of discovery. Get in and enjoy learning about it. You might study it for 6 months before you decide to put 10 quid in it. This is up to you. You might, this is a low price to play game. You don't need to be betting the farmhouse every day or bet 10,000 or 20,000 pounds on it. It's very low price to entry.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always say just come in, look around, read the guides, go to as many of the workshops you want to, as often as you want to. They're free. You know, and there's a lot of very knowledgeable coaches on there who are more than happy to answer your questions. You can direct message me any questions. You know, there are no stupid questions. This is all so new. You know, we were all in the same place not that long ago. So, you know, it's yeah, there aren't any silly questions. Just come, ask questions, learn, educate yourself. And then, you know, when you're ready, if you feel that you want to take the step, take the step. If you want to stay away from it, don't do it.
Yeah, and there's a nice wee comment. I've been attending Richard's free classes for the past 3 weeks, and it's absolutely eye-opening. I'm learning so much. So that's good to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with regards to what we do, Richard, obviously we've got this is more for the benefit of your your members now, obviously, and again, it all sort of ties in quite well, Richard. I mean, what we've got is we've set up a directory called Awakened Pages. Now, I'm just going to put this on screen just now so we can have a quick chat about it. So you'll see it appearing on screen here. Bit slow because we're sharing all this video stuff.
Yeah, no
Much
worries.
slower than normal, but well. Okay. So there's a page there. It's called Awaken Pages. We say it's time for our great reset. Now, I think everybody in this space understands what we're saying there. Okay. And then we say connecting awakened people and businesses. So we want to connect, we want to build an awakened economy, right? Now, awakened economy is people who are awake to what's going on. Everybody's got their own idea of what awakened means. Your awakened and my awakened might be two different things, but in this kind of world, we just say we're awakened. What you mean by it and what I mean by it, or what it's up to you. But we're connecting awakened people and businesses. Okay. And this little person standing here, this is any one of us who stands up to what's going on and says no to the Amazons, the Tesco's, the McDonald's, the Starbucks, the Uber Eats, Uber taxis, all the rest of it, all these big soulless corporations, and the guys who chase you down the road for not having a mask on or don't let you in or make your life miserable, the small business owner who's turned into a little Hitler type character and he's going over and above the call of duty to make your life miserable. Well, he doesn't deserve a penny of your money. But who does deserve your money? The hardworking, awakened business owner. Okay. He deserves your money because he might be the person who employs you when you get a no job situation, or he might be the person who employs your kids. Okay. Or he might be the person who makes it easy for you and your wife and kids to go out for a meal on a Saturday night, or for you to arrange a birthday party for all your lovely awakened friends and not feel that you're, you know, being discriminated against. You know, we need places to socialize. But also what you've got with these businesses is people pour their hearts and souls into these businesses, Richard. They really do work very, very hard for them. So what we've got is, various categories. Holistic and complementary therapists is a very popular category with our viewers, and what you've got is various businesses here. They're just loading up just now, so I'll just scroll down here and show you this. So you see all the various types of businesses. So there's one that's a travel campsite, caravan parts. There's another one, Marta Canadell, alternative health, balance, biocoding, energy, healing, holistic therapist, remedial massage, personal training. Okay, so people can go in and find a business that's close to them. You can use the Near Me facility. Okay, so you can click on there, and you can. So there's a map coming up with all the businesses. You can see all the different businesses, and you can pick one that's closest to you. Okay, and again, behind every one of these businesses, I mean, there's some absolutely amazing businesses here. We'll just go in and have a quick look at this one. This is a girl who runs a beautiful little shop, but a lot of the business owners actually work from home. Okay, now this is a good page because you get a chance to see a bit about the business. Okay, it's just loading up just now, and you see there, she's award-winning business. You get a chance to see what her shop looks like. Okay.
Very nice.
Okay, and you get a chance to see the business owner, a bit about her logo and the treatments that she does, Indian head massage, whole ear candles. I mean, beautiful things, massage, facials, beauty treatments. So you can find out a bit about the business. Okay, frequently asked questions, reviews from satisfied clients. Okay,
Fantastic.
and then what you've
Really
also got with these business owners, just give me 2 seconds, I'll show you this as well. So what you've also got is for many of our business owners, we have a, I'll just quickly show you one. We have a little, 2 seconds. I use this one quite a lot actually because it was one of the, I think it was actually the first business that we put on. And again, I know this lady very well. Funnily enough, we just ordered these little teddies here, and I'll explain what they are. So they're called memory bears, these little teddies. I can't believe we're in this protesting, fighting back, pushing back movement, and we're talking about teddy bears, Richard. But this is the world we live in, and it's quite important. But behind every awakened business, there's a beautiful soul. I really believe that, and they pour their heart and soul into the business. So this lady works with her daughter. They work from home, and they make beautiful, personalised, embroidered gifts. I mean, the stuff that they make is absolutely stunning. You can see it there. Personalised gifts for babies, kids, birthdays, all the rest of it. Okay, absolutely beautiful, amazing stuff. Now these little characters here are called memory bears. Now, unique, personalised, embroidered gifts, Father's, Mother's Day gifts, wedding, housewarming gifts. But these memory bears are probably our most common, our most popular product. Okay, now she's a she's awake. She's at all the protests, Richard. Right?
Yeah.
She's at all the protests. She's wide awake, totally wide awake, but she's absolutely lovely to deal with. Broad Glaswegian, love her to bits. Okay, now that's me doing a little video with her there. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this actually. Could you hear that there?
Can't hear anything. No.
That's okay. So basically, what she does is she explains. I'll talk you through it. Okay. So what she's doing there is she's explaining about this little bear that she's made. Now these bears, she makes them with the clothing of maybe the grand or granddad who've passed away, and it's a little memory bear that it becomes a memory for the kids. So she might sew a bit of the granddad's or the grand's, in this case, the grand's dressing gown. So the bit in the front, the purple was the grand's dressing gown, and on the back, the grey was the grand's cardigan. The wee grand, the granddaughter bought her this. The wee granddaughter whose granny passed away. She bought her the purple uh, house coat, and the granny wore the cardigan there every single day in life. Now, this has got real sentimental value. You can't buy this stuff on Amazon. This is back to the karma of the things we do and why we do things and where we put our money. We've got a little saying in our, Awaken pages, every pound is a protest pound, Richard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that our wallet is a weapon. Why are we giving our money to Amazon, Tesco? 2 clicks to buy a horror. You've got Christmas round the corner. We just had 3 of these big teddies arrive today. I'm telling you, they are absolutely stunning. My wife bought. Oh well, I better not say in case somebody who's got a gift coming is watching this, just in case. But they're absolutely stunning, right? I mean, top quality, great price, complete sentimental value. They're going to be completely cherished forever.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. People need to know that these businesses are out there, and they need to know that they can use a directory like ours and connect with these wonderful, wonderful businesses and support them, because they're going to go bust. A lot of businesses are going to go bust in this market. It's a horrible It's a horrible, horrible world that these people have created. But what we're trying to do is to say, well, let's just move on and create our own world.
Mm-hmm.
Been forced to do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So what
It's
what are we
solutions.
what we're waiting on? You know, let's build it ourselves. We don't consent to the world we're being offered by them. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
just consent to the world we're being offered for ourselves. Now, if you take the cafes, bars, and restaurants, now we have a slight challenge here, and I'm going to use this to reach out to the cafes, bars, and restaurants. We don't make any statements on our website that says we're anti this or anti that, or protesting this or protesting this, or denying that, or nothing. We just say it's Awaken Pages. You read into that what you want. There's not a word on our website, and I don't care what the cafe owner does. If the cafe owner's awake, he'll have his own ways of
Mm-hmm.
keeping the lights on in his business. He'll he'll have some version of track and trace that he believes is good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
All we want is to be welcomed, a warm welcome at the door for people like us who walk up with a big smiling face and 4 or 5 of us looking to put our money in an Awaken till, because that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Now, I don't need 50 pubs to go to, Richard.
Yeah.
Give me 2 local pubs, one just in case I get thrown out of one, I can still go to the other one. Okay, that's all I want, and I'll give them all my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cafes, restaurants, the same. We want a bit of choice. We don't need as much choice as we had before,
Mm-hmm.
but the choices we've got
Yeah.
now are better. Now, if we had these places up and down the country, then when I go and visit Manchester or London, I can just tap into my phone, go into Waking Pages, and I say, right, I'm going there. Now, who am I
Mm-hmm.
going to bump into when I'm there? More people like us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all
Now,
about community building, isn't
Richard,
it? Yeah.
you know, and I know that when you bump into a fellow awakened person, irrelevant of what you call awakened,
Mm-hmm.
I know when I've met an awakened person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, it's pretty clear. Now, is it ever a horrible interaction? Do you ever meet an awakened person and you walk away thinking, "Oh, that was horrible. I don't want to do that again." No, it's absolutely always wonderful, right? And we are devoid of wonderful experiences in this cold, horrible world that we're being presented with just now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
So,
true enough.
so cafe owners, bars, and restaurants, step forward, please, because we need you on there. And we're the ones who step forward in the local area are going to be the ones who get the customers, and these customers are loyal. They're going to come in. They're not going to ditch you for the next guy who comes along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were the first guy. First up, best dressed. Get yourself in. This. You talk about Bitcoin, missing out on Bitcoin. Don't miss out on this gold rush. This is a
Yeah.
gold rush. Awaken
No,
Pages is a gold rush for you businesses.
no, I
You know,
totally agree. I mean, when you go out, you just simply want to be made welcome, don't you? That's it. And, no conditions attached to your attending wherever you're attending. You just want to go there, enjoy yourself with your family or friends. And
absolutely,
yeah, if you have a good time, you will go back because let's face it, as you were saying, you don't need 20 places to eat. As long as you've got 2 or 3 near you that are good quality and you can go there and have a good time, you're going to go to them.
and you'll enjoy supporting them. You'll enjoy knowing that your money
Mm-hmm.
is helping that business, and who knows, maybe you end up working for that business because you're a customer. That happens a lot. I've employed people that I used to meet in bars and stuff like that, and I ended up employing them in my mortgage business. Um, yeah, good people will support. But this is a support network. As I said, our new tagline is connecting awakened people and businesses. So we're connecting the people to the businesses, but we're
Yeah.
connecting awakened people together through these businesses as well. Now, not every business you're going to meet. That woman in Glasgow who makes these memory teddies, I will guarantee you that if I could get that message in front of as many people in the UK, that people throughout the UK
Yeah.
would want those little memory bears, and they'd
Yeah.
want them made
Absolutely.
by that awakened person. And I know they'll be delighted. And I say this often: warm, wonderful experiences await you on Awakened Pages. I meet most of these business owners, Richard. I am telling you,
I've seen your videos and your pictures. Yeah.
I'm blown away. Every single day, every day is Christmas to me because I meet amazing people every single day. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go bust buying stuff off them because I can't resist it. There's so much good stuff. There is. You could get every single present you need for Christmas on Awaken Pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you keep going to all those cafes, though, you're going to need an Awaken personal trainer fairly soon.
And we've got that as well. And then, and everyone, I did a thing the other day, dragon energy, right? Now we do things that there's we're going to introduce energy swaps as well. You talk about, different decentralized finance, right?
Yeah.
This is decentralized trading.
Yeah.
We're going to introduce energy swaps where certain businesses will say, I'm a plumber, I'll do energy swap. And somebody says, okay, well, I need some plumbing done and I'll give you 2 massages, which I normally charge for that. And we do a wee swap, an hour for an hour.
Yeah. Bartering. I mean, it's a time-honored system.
No crypto involved, no anything involved.
Yeah.
I went down to see a cafe owner the other day. Now, again, like you, Richard, we both have the same challenges, my friend. You have people in your group, but I mean, we've got people. I don't know how many people's watching this. I'm never satisfied with these counters. I don't know how many's watching this tonight, but I've got 12,000 people in my group.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of them will watch it later, the recording. They do watch it. We know that for a fact. But everybody would enjoy finding out about what you talk about, and everybody would enjoy finding out about the businesses that are in Awaken Pages.
Yeah.
Now, even although I've got 12,000 people in my group, and they're fairly active, I look at the stats that we are a well-engaged group. Richard, they're involved in the post, they're commenting, they're liking. There's a good vibe, there's a good energy, and I would invite anybody from your group to join us. You're more than any member of your group is a friend of ours, absolutely, and vice versa. I want people from our group to go and join you, and take your good energy over. Take your good energy, but get involved. Don't sit in the sidelines on this stuff. Get involved. If you've got a business, come over to us and help us get your business listed on there, because we've got people who want to do business with you. This is the Wild West, and this is a gold rush, and people are not rushing.
Yeah.
And it's like Bitcoin. I am positive that there will be certain businesses who will join us, and it's not happening today, Richard. I'm not making any statements. I'm not saying that any business owners is that they're flooded, and I'll tell you why they're not flooded. Because all 12,000 of my members are not using your directory 100% yet.
Yeah.
They're still in the habit of going to Amazon. Click, 2 minutes, Amazon, Tesco. I don't have the food problem, but there's food on there. We've got organic shampoos, soaps, things that you buy, toothpaste. That's all there. You can move your budget away from Tesco. You don't need. I can't replace Tesco. I'm good, but I'm not a miracle worker. I'm not going to replace Tesco and Amazon. There, I said it. Okay, but I'm going to say this as well. I am going to replace Tesco and Amazon to a degree. We will get enough businesses on there that you will have just as many choices and better choices, more soulful choices, awakened choices, and choices that you're every time you spend £1, you're voting for the kind of world you want to live in.
Yeah,
right.
No, absolutely.
So you really want to vote to live in a world where Amazon get a wee 7-year-old kid or something to make your wife's birthday present for you? Is that really what you want?
This is the thing as well, isn't it? And you look at a lot of the products that you get from the supermarkets, I mean, I get a lot of this. My sister, who I see, is on here tonight. Actually, she's very into sort of holistic health. But you buy the toothpaste; it's got fluoride in it. Okay, and there's a big thing going on. Of course, that they're going to start introducing fluoride all over the country into the drinking water. So that can't be a good thing. You've got heavy metals in your deodorants, aluminium, stuff like that. And there are suppliers of these, lovely natural products. There's a company called Toothpaste who do, fluoride-free natural tooth. There's Wild who do deodorants, all natural deodorants. We've got rid of most of the chemicals out of our house. We use sort of microfiber cloths to do the cleaning, and they work absolutely fantastically.
So I've seen them. Is that like that Enjo type thing or something like that?
Sorry.
Enjo or something like that, is that called?
Norwex is the company I use.
Yeah.
And then we get our dishwasher tablets and our washing machine sort of capsules from another company online. You know, it's yeah.
Well, these are exactly the things, and these are the, take your budget, take your business budget, find an awakened place to do business with. Our website's getting better every day. Get on the directory and use it. Try
Yeah.
there first, and if you can't find it there, try Anna Breeze's website. She's got one, Awakened Against Vaccine Passports.
Yeah.
Yeah, great site as well. And they're again, they're out there saying we are against vaccine passports. You don't want to support someone who's against vaccine passports. Of course you do.
Yeah.
There's cafes on there. Go and support them, because
Yeah.
they might be the only. They might be the cafes who say, when this COVID passport comes in, they might say, well, we're going to stand up and say that we'll serve.
Yeah.
A guy in America did it. I watched him. Some Italian guy, and he basically said, "No, I'm not advocating this particular stance. I want to be very, very clear on this. But I like the idea of we don't want a divided and discriminatory world, Richard. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be able to go to a restaurant, and I want to be able to sit next to people, maybe at different tables, who are vaccinated and people who are non-vaccinated. We should never be having this conversation. It is disgusting to think that that could be you can't get in there without a vaccination.
Well, medical
Okay.
apartheid. Yeah.
Yeah, medical apartheid. Now, our grandparents fought hard and they worked hard and their taxes went in, and we paid for these streets and towns and cities and buildings in these cities. We paid for them. And we're now our generation's going to be denied what our forefathers built.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of a jab. No, we're going to have our own places. If that's what you want to do, then we will have our own cafes, bars, and restaurants, and everybody's invited, not just the unvaccinated. Now, this guy took a different stance in America, and he said unvaccinated only, and the queues were round the block.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what people want. Now, there's probably 5 million of us. The people who are on the jab 1, jab 2, jab 3, they're going to say, no, I'm not interested anymore. Where do you think they're going to go? They're going to want to go to a blended cafe, a blended bar, a blended restaurant, where they're going to say, I don't care anymore. I don't care if you've had it. I don't even care if I'm sitting next to somebody in a mask. I'll still talk to them. I don't have any problems. That's their choice.
Yeah.
I've made my choices. But what I want to do is to let these cafe owners and bar owners, and I want them to see it now, Richard, while it counts. Let them see the strength of the awakened economy now. Put money in their tills now. Get their tills ringing now, so that when it comes to decision time, they can say, I don't need to be a COVID passport restaurant to survive. I can survive in the blended economy.
Yeah, and
which is us.
We can.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. This is where it's at, Richard. We're at a very important stage in society, and we're the ones who are going to be pushing to create a less divided world. Okay, we're being presented with a divided world. Join us or be ostracized. Have nothing, no jobs, no hospitals. That's not going to happen. That's a threat to gain your consent. They rule by consent, and they get you to roll your sleeves up by consent. And we need to hold the line and say what we want to do. So the awakened economy is a pushback, is a protest. Every pound is a protest pound. What you're doing is a protest. Taking your kids out of school.
It's about financial sovereignty, personal sovereignty, and the freedom to do what you want to do with your hard-earned money at the end of the day.
Absolutely. That's what we often say as well. It's our hard-earned cash, and that's what our website is about. Facebook shouldn't be able to take our website down, because it's not about division.
Yeah.
It's about where we spend our money.
I'd love to know who took Facebook down.
I know. Well, I want Facebook back. I want it back for us. It's ours. We built it. It's not even theirs. I want, as part of this revolution, I want Facebook back in our hands, because it's our Facebook. It's not theirs. I happen to take Zuckerberg and the fact checkers away. I actually like Facebook. Take all of those idiots away. We've been on it long enough, Richard. You're still on it. I'm still on it.
Yeah,
You-
I
you-
know I've moving across to another platform actually now, but
yeah, because we're being forced though,
yeah,
because of their policies and the fact that we could lose everything in 2 minutes. You know,
yeah,
we shouldn't. It's a utility that we built. It's ours, not theirs, and I think that should be part of what we look at doing as well as part of this this strategy. But listen, that's us now. Just hit the 1 hour mark, and
yeah.
I do like to keep myself on track for time with people. So, just in summary, Richard, is there anything you want to say to the people of Awakened Pages and the Scottish People's Forum who are watching this tonight, just about the Homeschool DeFi Club?
Yeah, look, come in, join it, have a look around. If you decide you want to learn more, go to the workshops. If you want to learn more, come and talk to me. I'll happily talk to you. We don't bite. You know, there's no silly questions. Everybody in the group, or most of the people in the group, are complete beginners anyway. So we're trying to help them just get into the world of crypto in a very easy, very simple way. Just to make it as frictionless as possible for you. If you do decide that that's what you want to do. If you don't, that's absolutely fine, you know, but come and look around, come and learn, come and get educated. It's the education that's really, really, really vital here. Just come and get educated, and you know, we can take it from there and go whichever direction you want to go. But there's huge opportunity, just massive opportunities out there.
And I just a wee comment there from one of the viewers saying thank you, power to the people, and that's probably as good a way to end it as any.
Yeah.
Again, just to your guests, to people watching on your channels, Richard, from the Tribe channels and from the Homeschool DeFi Club. If you've got a business, we want you in the directory. We want to help you. We'll get tens of thousands of people. We'll get it to hundreds of thousands of people. You know, we're going to create the Awakened economy. It's going to be very, very strong. The Awakened pound is strong. It's enjoyable. There's a real good energy. Come and join us. If you're awake, you need to be part of the Awakened economy. It's that simple. If you want to be awake and keep buying and spend all your money with Amazon and Tesco and feeding that beast, that's up to you. And feeding those local guys who are chasing you around the doors and out the doors and making you feel unwelcome. There are alternatives. Find the alternative. If you have to drive to the alternative, drive to the alternative and have a meal 20 miles away at the Awakened restaurant, because that's a much better karma for you and your money, you know. Okay. So come and join us at Awakened Pages and visit awakenedpages.co.uk and get your Awakened wallet out and buy from our lovely Awakened businesses, because I'll tell you something, you will not find anything better on the run up to Christmas. Give yourself some holistic therapy, give yourself some mortgage advice, get your finances, that everything you want is starting to be there. And the more people who join us, the more we've got. Have we got everything? No. Will we have everything that you need? Yes. Okay. So thank you for everybody who listened to us tonight, and it's been an absolute pleasure. The recording of that will be available for people to watch later. Thank you, Richard. It's been a pleasure. This is the first time you and I have met, but I'll join your. I'll be part of your next workshop for sure.
Yeah, do come along. Yeah, Jane did. I think she enjoyed it. I hope she did anyway.
Jane did enjoy it. Yes.
It's a wonderful thing doing, Steve. So keep up the good work. Honestly, it's we'll win this.
We will. In the end, we win, Richard. In the end, we win. That's the beauty. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody who watched tonight.